Hey everyone, how's it going? So today is Sunday. What's the date? The 12th? Hold on, I can tell you. Yes, it's the 12th, and I've got a bunch of hay to round bale. Now I don't know that I'm going to be able to round. I know I won't be able to round bale it all today. I'm going to be using the 60/30 and the BR 70/60, which is the only round baler I got. But anyway, better get going. Got a lot to do. It did come a slight shower last night, so the hay was having to dry out this morning. That's about, time is it? Geez, that's loud. There we go. It's like 2:30 almost, and it should be getting about ready. We got like maybe a tenth of rain or something last night while it was dark. Thunderstorm came through. It happens, but we're going to proceed on. It didn't really hurt the hay. Still looks pretty. I gotta rake it before I can start baling. Now, where I'm going right now, I'm going to finish up a field that I square baled yesterday. It's got some really steep places in it that I don't typically square bale, and it's around the edges of the woods where it doesn't dry out as fast. And we just kind of raked everything that was out in the sun, and baled it for square hay yesterday. We got 553 bales. And then there's probably, I wanted to square bale some more of it, but it was around the outside. There's this field that's close to the woods, and it was just still too tough to bale yesterday. So I left it. I'm going to round bale it today. I still got quite a bit more hay to get up. I got a lot down on the Bent Road on that big farm. Not the Christmas tree farm, but the other big farm, the one with the big barn on it. I don't know if y'all have seen it or not, but I'm sure some of you have. But I'm going to be going there after I get done here and get started on that. And then tomorrow we're going to hit that one hardcore and try to get a bunch of it baled. I've got 45 acres down out there, I believe, and I may most more of it in the morning. So, all right, we'll see y'all at the hayfield in a little bit. Okay, so here we are. This is the steep part. You can't really tell it, but it goes down in a deep valley right here, and then back up. Everything looks flat on camera. Maybe once I get down here in this valley, I can kind of, I'm holding the brakes right now. The tractor, the baler's pushing me down this hill. Put it in 4-wheel drive, but maybe when I get down here, you can kind of see if I do this. Still can't really see how steep it is, but now I'm going back up the other side here. Anyway, I got this to do. The 4710 is here with the rake on it already. There's a little bit over there to do, and there's a little bit up there to do. So I'm gonna go over here and get the tractor with the rake, get started raking. I'm gonna be doing my own raking here to start with, and then later on when I get over to the big farm, Brian is tedding over there for me. He's got the 6640 in the big Parkway tedder, and he's over there tedding some of what I mowed this morning and some of what got wet last night, and he's going to take over the rake for me once he gets done tedding. Man, this field is super rough. This used to be a pasture field. It's just terrible rough. But right there on the other side of the driveway, there's a about an acre right there. It's not much. And then there's about an acre and a half up there above the cemetery they got to do. So there's just piddly stuff here, and then we're going to go to the real farm. So, oh, I got me a new mic. Yeah, I got another new mic because the one I had, or I still have it, there's nothing wrong with it other than it's just a pain in the butt to use. So I decided to get this thing right here. It's a DJI wireless microphone. It comes with 2 microphones and a transmitter you can hook into a camera, and actually your sound can be recorded straight onto your camera. But what I typically do is record the sound, and this will record sound on it, and then you can download it to the computer, and then you sync the sound with the editing software. And the cool thing about it is I don't have that lapel mic with all the wiring. The wire was the issue. I would put the recorder in my pocket or on my pocket and let the tractor warm up here a minute. And I would run a cord up in my shirt, and it would come out of my pocket and go in my shirt. Well, it would get hung on door latches and stuff, getting in and out of tractors. It would get hung on a lot of things and rip it out of my shirt. And it was just getting to be frustrating. The other thing is, every time I wanted to record, I had to get in my pocket and get to it, and I had to get it turned on, which it had this little bitty tiny switch, and you had to hold it. It had a really strong spring. It's meant to, like, where you can't accidentally turn it on and off, but you could just barely get your thumbnail on it and move it, and you had to hold it there about 2 seconds to get it to work. And a couple of times, in a video I just made, I didn't get it turned on, and I thought I did. So the whole time I was talking, I have no audio. And I've done that a couple of different times, and I just said, you know what? I'm tired of this thing. I spent a lot of money for that thing. It seemed like it was, I don't know, $150 or something. But this was a lot more money, but I think this setup's going to work out a lot easier because I can just clip this thing up here. There's no wires. It vibrates if it stops recording to let me know there's a problem. It's just going to be a whole lot better. But you'll see it's a video I hadn't posted yet, but I lost the audio, so I'm going to have to voice over or something. And but by the time you see this video, that video should be posted. So I'm kind of talking about the future in the past tense right now because, yeah, I'm going to put up a future video that's already out by now. I'm getting confused. That's like Back to the Future kind of stuff. Alright, let's get some raking done. Then we'll get some baling going. I don't know how much of this I'll show you, but when I get to the other farm, we might start looking at that. But I hate raking these parts. It's all steep and rough, but it's part of it. Okay, here we go. The tractor's not warmed up yet, so it ain't got no power. This tractor has absolutely no power until it gets warm. And that's fine. They're just trying to protect the, protect the engine. It don't matter if it's 100 degrees when you crank it outside or if it's 0. It won't hardly move until it starts getting warm. And I don't sit here and dog this thing. I don't dog these things when they're cold, but I'll crank them up if it's a 90-degree day and it ain't been run. I'll crank it up, let it idle for a few minutes, and then start to go. But this thing, it takes about 10 minutes before it's ready to do anything. But I don't rev it up much until I start seeing the needle move, and I'll just kind of baby it around and keep it under 1,200, 1,300, 1,400 RPMs, and just moving around and stuff. before, you know, until it gets warm, and then I'll go on and run it on up to PTO speed and stuff. The needle's well up now, but I bet it ain't got 50 horsepower. If it's got that, it's kind of funny, and it'll mess with people too that don't know, because I've had people get in this tractor right here, and to move it when it's cold, you just need to move it out of the way or something. You know, I had it parked in the shop one night, and Gavin moved it, and he was gonna move it out of the shop, put something in there. He said, "Man, that thing ain't even got enough power to pull a greased string out of a cat's butt." And I was thinking, what is he talking about? I mean, I know it's got more power than that, but then it dawned on me that he had just started it up and was trying to move it out of the way, and it seriously, it ain't got enough power to hardly pull itself in high first. I mean, it just bogs down and won't go. So it's kind of funny. But this hay, it looks pretty dry now. I mean, I was over here tedding it earlier just because I had it windrowed. Some of this, I did have this part windrowed, so I wanted to ted it back out and let it dry, and it's definitely, the color is completely different now, so I can tell you ought to be able to jump on this and get it up here. And as soon as I get done raking, I'll be able to hit it pretty good. Crossing this driveway, rough as a cob. This field's just terrible rough. Need to take a disc to it and just disc the whole thing under, and then take a big box blade, smooth it all up and start over. But the people that own it probably wouldn't like that too much. They like their grass. They like their pretty green grass, and they probably wouldn't like it to be dirt for 6 months. They got a house right up here above it that overlooks all of it. Probably not be in my best interest to tear it all up. So I just continue to farm it the way it is. Yeah, I guess you could call it a farm. I mean, it's just a 15-acre grass field. My family's used it as a, you know, it's distant relatives that own it, and my family's been farming, had either cows here or hay here since I've been alive, and probably before. So my uncle used to get the hay up off of it. Or my grandpa, he used to have cows on it, and then he got hay up on it. Then once my grandpa quit farming, quit the dairy farm, he let my uncle start doing beef cattle. My uncle done it here, done hay here, and there's no good entrance. There's no good way to get in and out of here. And as he got bigger and bigger equipment, he decided, and I was getting into hay, and I was looking for hay ground, and I asked him, even though he doesn't really like me, I asked him if he had any that he would let me take over, and he gave me, surprisingly, he gave me 3 fields. He gave me 2 little bitty fields on Burnett Road, and then he gave me this field, which is a 15-acre field. And the reason he gave me this one is because he hated trying to get his equipment in and out of here. And I hate getting my equipment in and out of here also. But I did go over here. There's actually a back way to get in here. The driveway, the main driveway in here, you cannot get over a 10-foot mower in, and it is scrubbing the laurel bushes on both sides. And then there's a creek and a bridge. You got to go under the bridge there's a parkway that goes over top of you. You go under the bridge with the creek. So it's you and the creek going under the bridge at the same time. And it's very narrow. You're right up against the wall of the bridge, and then the creek is right beside the road that you're driving on. I'll have to show y'all sometime. But you can't get like a 13-foot, and the bridge is really low. That's the other thing. This rake won't fit under the bridge, so it has to come in the other way. And that's the thing that Flynn, or my uncle, he didn't have the access road opened up over here on the back side, which is not the best way to get in because it comes off the Parkway. But anyway, it was all blocked up with trees and it was washed out, and I fixed all that when I got this field so I could bring equipment in here, even though I didn't really have anything all that big at the time. I went ahead and fixed it anyway, and now my mower has to come that way, the rake has to come that way, the hay wagons have to come that way, because if you stack them over a certain height, you can't get them under this bridge down here. You can bring the baler in, but you can't bring the square baler with the accumulator. It has to come in the back way. So you see, Flynn just, or my uncle, he just didn't want to have to deal with that, because he got a 15-foot Moco John Deere, and he couldn't get it in here, and without that access road, and he didn't have the means to fix the access road. So, or here, he may not even known about it. My dad told me about it, because I'm like, how am I going to get this or that in here? And he's like, there used to be a road over there, and it was, and we fixed it. So that's how I got this field. And the people that own it, they wanted the Harrells to continue farming it, and technically we are. I was getting into the driveway there. There's a weird fold in the land right here where it meets the driveway. Oh, gee. The rake just threw a rock across the ground from up next to the driveway. I seen the rock up there, and it threw it all the way from up there. I turned around and I was going by, and the rock rolled right under the tractor and rolled off into the woods. That was funny. It was like a rabbit running across in front of me, but it was a rock. All this area right in here and up there where I was at, it stays in the shade a lot, and it's just hateful to get dry enough to square bale. And it's just hateful to get dry in a timely manner, let's put it that way. So may have to spray a little bit of preservative on it when I round bale it. And if I do, that's fine, but you just got to get it done and move on. And that'll be another field down. I'm getting closer to being done. I still got a lot to do, but I'm getting closer to being done. I think I can get through here. With this rake, I think I can get through here. I can't get through here with the tedder. Oh yeah. Alright, I think I've rattled on enough here, so I'll check back with y'all in a bit. Alright, it is time to start baling some hay. This will be the first, once I make one, it'll be the first round bale I've made this year. Now, it's not the first round bale that's been made this year on my farm, but it'll be the first one that I've made. I had some hay down near a nursing home out in Laurel Fork, and I was square baling, so I sent Sean out there to bale it for me. So that's how that worked. He baled 19 bales, I believe it was, but he busted 2 of them. So one of them he had to rebale, and then this is not the windrow I wanted to go on. One of them he had to rebale, and in other words, he had to push it out and re-roll it all. Daggone it. Sprayer's not working, but I see why. Sorry, y'all. It ain't plugged up. Where's the plug at? Okay, I'm back. My sprayer had got unhooked, and the hay was wet right there where I started, and of course when I turned it on, nothing happened. Not good. The hay's a little bit higher moisture than I want it to be, but we have got to keep moving. What is going on here? It's starting to look better and better though. Alright, bale number 1 for me. Trying to say Sean busted one bale bad. The other bale, I thought I could salvage it, but when I got there, it was just barely a little strand holding it together. And so I ended up having to take it and unroll it, and I rebaled it into square bales because I was square baling in it that day anyway. And so I don't know how he done it. I don't know what he did wrong. I don't know if he closed the tailgate on them or he opened the gate too soon. I'm not sure what he did wrong, and he didn't elaborate. He's still learning about the round baling deal. He hadn't done a lot of round baling, and not with my equipment. He's done a lot, I guess, with his dad and an old John Deere twine tie baler, but net wrap is something new to him, which is simple to net wrap, so I don't exactly, I mean, I've had a bale mess up before where I done something wrong. It happens. So this is still a little bit wetter than I wanted it to be, but where I put the preservative on it, it should be just fine. This is, why we quit baling on it yesterday, because this up here was just still too wet. It wouldn't pass the moisture test for me there. Now it's down 18%. That's about right, 16. I guess it's mainly up there around the woods where the sun don't ever freaking shine. Bale number 2. Bale's trying to go places. Looks like it's going to go over and run into the cemetery. It finally stopped, but it don't look like it's going to stay there very well. See what this windrow has to bring. Moisture wise, 17, 19. Turn on that. Then it says low. What the heck? Low, 23. Get out here away from the woods, it's in good shape. Real good shape. Number 3. Sun just come back out on full blast. Let's look, and this baler's got 4,484 bales on it. People tell me these balers have a life of about 10,000 bales before you have to really start doing a lot to them. So it should be good for a while. I got a whole lot of bales to bale over the next few days here. A whole lot. Alright guys, I'm going to bale this and then I want to go to the other place and we'll catch y'all there. Okay, so here's that bridge that I was talking about that keeps you from getting in and out of here. So you got a creek right here. This bridge, the Parkway, is running along on top of it. And so you're kind of shoved over here against this wall. And you can see this baler's not really all that tall, but the corner of the bridge is pretty close to it. And then so anything much taller than this baler, as a matter of fact, I heard the antenna on the tractor scrape. So there you go. Then the Parkway is just right up there. If you don't know what the Parkway is, I guess you can look it up online, but it's a recreational road that goes from, heck, I don't even remember where it goes from and to, but it runs north and south. And goes pretty good ways each way. I know it starts off, at least starts off down North Carolina somewhere and goes well up into Northern Virginia, but I don't know exactly where. I can't remember where it starts and ends. I did know at one time, but it's something I forgot. Now I'm trying to figure out which way I want to go here. All right. Talk to y'all later. Okay, so we just got to the next field here. It's pretty large. There's in all total, this one landowner here has 100 acres that I do. About 75 of it's right here. I don't have it all mowed. And then there's 25 of it across the road with Christmas Tree Farm. So anyway, I'm getting ready to get started here. I got 14 bales at the last field. There's my mowing setup. I've actually mowed some of this today. Not what I'm going to bale, but I mowed some here today. So I was going to get started here. We'll see what happens. This down here wasn't that, I mean it's thick down here, but it wasn't as thick as it is up above the driveway. I hate it when I do that. Ugh. I leave the tractor in auto mode and it takes off like a rocket ship. Which makes things very interesting. This is a beautiful farm. This is what I call the big farm. It's got some steep places in it, but other than that, it's pretty decent. Get all this over here in the woods rolled up. Spraying it. I gotta find somewhere to put this bale of hay. Here comes the hay rake. I better get out of the way. Woo! I believe we'll get on his windrow there. His new windrow. Oh no, that. I believe I want to go find some different windrows that ain't in the woods. Let this dry out a little while. Right now we're just going to ride back and forth like a maniac. Here we go. See what kind of shape this hay up here in the sun is. Should be all right. Not as dry as I figured it would be. Low 20s. It stayed there. You never know about some of these darn bales. I'm gonna get out and check my moisture sensors. I ain't sure that they're reading right. Even with no hay in it, it's reading 13%. That's not right. Something ain't right with that. Looks like you got a screw. These are getting wore pretty bad. What kind of shape this hay is. It's hot. Now that hay ain't wet. Got buddy Brian, he's raking for me today. His boy Sean normally helping me, but it's kind of funny because Sean, his son, is mowing his hay today and he came and helped me. So, kind of funny. No, this hay ain't wet. My moisture sensor must be acting up a little bit. I'm gonna try to unplug it. It's saying 13% right now. I think there's a connector in there not pushed all the way in. It's not locked in, I don't think. Yeah, it's not locking. For some reason. Right here's my problem, I reckon. Got a bad connector in here. Bad connector pin. What the heck? It's melted. Well, that ain't right. It's bent. Got bent up in there. This is a weather pack connector, but the pin has gotten mangled up and it's not going in there like it should. I wonder if I got it straighter like that, maybe it'll go in there now. See what that says. Looks different in there now. I can't see what it says. It's saying low, so that's a good sign. It's saying low. Okay, all that beeping noise is because of the tailgate's open. So by my feel, this hay is not wet at all. And there's no reason it should be. It's out here for 3 days and hot, good conditions. It did get rained on a little bit, but it's been tedded and yeah, I mean, I just don't see where it's that wet. Still says it's wet. I don't believe it. May have to do some more work to it. May have to put a new chain, take it out, put a new pin in there. Make sure everything's connected good. That's always something. Alright, I'm going to bail a little while. We'll check on y'all in a few. Alright, I have finished baling for today. Considering I didn't start till 5 o'clock out there, I did pretty good, I guess. It's 8 o'clock right now. I quit baling about 7:30. I'm bringing the baler in. But anyway, I've got 64 bales total, so I baled 50 bales out there from 5 o'clock till 7:30. And so, I mean, that's not no record breaker for me, but that's still a pretty good day. I did 64 bales total, counting the other field. But I'm going to try to work on this moisture monitor. It's not going back to zero once you dump the bale out. Something is shorted out somewhere or something. I don't know what's going on, but I was going to unhook the sensor pads and see if that made it go back to zero or what. But try to figure that out. And we'll fill up my preservative tank and get that going again. So, all right, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. And first video with my new DJI mic. But we'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one.